everyone, and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today we're going to be opening up together the Curated Bead Box for April 2023. We can see from outside of the box that our theme is called Spring is in the Air, and we also have the listing for all the contents that we will be checking out today, which you can also find more of at their sister site, which is dollarbead.com. And if you're interested in trying out this box, you can use the coupon code OOJ35%. And I'll leave that as well as the link right down below the video. That code will save you 35% off your first box, which makes it only $13, including the shipping if you're in the US. So that's why I always say this box is great for newer beaders or kids if you have any young people in your life that would like to bead along with you. This is a great way to get them into doing some jewelry making with you, and also a fun monthly surprise because you're going to get a new palette of generous quantities of round glass beads primarily every single time. And in addition to those beads, you'll also get some other components, and every month it comes with a finding starter pack. So that's really helpful for newer ones too, because you're going to get some of the basic findings and stringing materials that you'll need that can help you make some things directly from your box contents. So let's go ahead and get into this month's box. And we see that there's all sorts of pastel and spring-like colors inside, and some additional things along with our main strands of round glass beads. So let me get organized and we can look at each of these items up close, one at a time. So here's a look at that finding starter kit first. This is what you'll receive every month, and the color will alternate typically between gold tone and silver tone. And each time you'll get some stringing material, including the elastic stretch cord, some bead stringing wire, and a segment of memory wire. Also included are some crimp beads, lobster clasps, and coordinating jump rings, and several pairs of fishhook style ear wires, along with some head pins. And for our beads, we'll start out with the strands. We always get a number of these in different sizes and different styles. The first one contains the 10mm soft salmon jade style beads, and this is on an 8-inch string. So these are in a light shade of pink with just a hint of a peach undertone, and they're made to imitate the jade beads with the way that you can see the color showing up and just having a hint of translucence. Also in the 10mm size, we have a strand of the pink/apple green duo crackle beads, and they're 6 inches on this one of these duotone beads, splitting between the hot pink and magenta and also that green apple color with lots of texture inside, meant to imitate the look of gemstones from afar or some type of a dyed stone bead, with the inclusions and also how the color is showing up on the surface. And then next we actually have a strand of stones. These are the olivine, it says, on a 7 to 8-inch length. And they're in a 10mm size, so we're starting out with all of our 10mm being our largest and chunkiest beads this month. And while these aren't the top tier quality when it comes to either glass beads or stones, none of these items are plastic in terms of the actual bead strands themselves. And they're all quite usable, and again, great, especially for newer beaders and beginners like some of the kids in your life. So these serpentine beads are primarily yellowish with a green undertone, and every once in a while you see some speckles of a darker color showing up. Moving down in size just a little bit, we have a very generous 16-inch long strand of the 8mm Greenbrier crackle spray glass beads. That was a tongue twister. So these are in a shade of like a lime green where you see the splotches of color that give these almost a glow in the dark looking combination. But they're not, that's just the way that that green is showing up. Speckled around those clear glass crackle beads with all that texture inside disrupting the smooth and clear round glass. We follow that up with another very generous 16-inch length of the lilac glass pearls in the 8mm size. So we have this very lovely light shade of purple to go along with some of our other spring-like colors, and this time in more of a pearl style bead with their satiny finish. And again, they're not the top tier quality like Preciosa or formerly what we would see for Swarovski, that kind of thing. But that's not what you're paying for with this box either, so I'm just pointing that out. They're still very usable and in decent shape. And then next in the 8mm size, we have the fuchsia and gold drizzled beads on a 10.5-inch length. You can see another sort of half and half variety with hot pink, but this time mixed with the gold that seems to be sort of sprayed over the top of these beads, and has that drizzled effect where you can see a little bit of a shiny metallic showing up on the surface just slightly. And then getting to the smaller size beads, we have a couple of strands of 6mm. This is a 16-inch length of the soft green pearls. Beautiful, fresh, spring-like color to go along with some of our other floral shades of pink and purple. And these are just like the lilac variety, just in the smaller size and different color. And then our final strand, the 6mm in the jade style, and the color is called lilac. 16-inch length of those in that creamy light purple color. These would look so great with those purple pearls. And round out the strands, as you can see, with several different sizes, and not only colors, but styles to play around with. And then we have a number of additional items. We start out with a bag containing a little less than an ounce of the 16mm pastel acrylic flower charms. And I wanted to be sure to mention earlier that those strands are not plastic. These, however, are acrylic. So they are not glass, but they are well done and do imitate glass pretty well. So these come in a variety of all different colors, of course, and I've seen some of these used where you can use a couple for a pair of earrings and use some head pins or some chain or wire and have some beads kind of hanging down from that floral component. That's just one idea for a way that you could use these. And you can also incorporate them in a beaded pendant with possibly a pearl in here in the center or some other beads or chain, some type of fringe hanging down. Also included, it says we have 5 of the 130 by 6mm apple green polyester tassels. I'm loving that color. I'm not sure if this is something you could possibly work in with those acrylic flowers, having this fringe hanging down and those acting as sort of a bead cap and maybe some other beads or chain hanging down with this to bulk it up. But this is just another idea of some of the things you might find in these curated bead boxes besides the beads themselves. They've also included an assortment of 2 different types of gold-colored metal spacer beads in these floral shapes. And these will pair nicely with the floral spring theme and light and bright colors, and also the other gold colored findings and materials they've added to that findings starter kit. They've also provided us with a silver metal keychain with jump ring component, which I think is a lot of fun, especially with those acrylic flowers. You don't have to worry about those being too fragile, and also possibly the tassels too. So not just jewelry, but other accessories are a lot of fun to come up with when you're talking about some of these basic and colorful glass rounds. And then to wrap it all up, we have a 1.7 ounce spring designer glass bead mix. And we see these from time to time popping up, giving us a few additional beads to work in with the larger quantities. This one having a mix of some of the light pink, some bright pops of blue, and a little bit of purple in different sizes and styles. Maybe you just need a couple of beads above and beyond what you have in the larger quantities on the strands, and these give you that option. So that wraps it up for the April 2023 Curated Bead Box. In the Spring is in the Air theme. And like I said, if you'd like to try this one out, you can use the coupon code OOJ35%. That will save you 35% off your first box. And that price of the box includes the shipping, so it would make the first one only $13. So it could make a fun surprise for a new or younger beader in your life in particular. So that's about what you can expect to find in these monthly boxes. I hope this helped you to be able to check out the contents up close and see if this type of box is right for you. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, you can definitely give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below and share it with your other beading friends. That's all I have for now. I hope to see you all again real soon though, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.